Good morning, guys. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesday. And today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people ask. Why do QT customers actually get funding? Are we superhuman here? Are we just, why do all of them, why do they get funded? Um, I'm going to go over 5 steps of how our clients actually get approved. The first step is know the funder. Okay, so that's something that's very, very important. A lot of times people want to get their grant or their investment or their loan, and you have to know the funder. So I'm actually going to share my screen here, and I'm going to look at 3 funders here. Now, this actually happens to be a grant funder. It is actually Home Depot from Home Depot's foundation. Okay, so if you were going to get funding, if you were a nonprofit and you needed some funding, you would, number one, know the funder. Okay, so this particular funder funds veteran housing grants. So if you are not doing veteran housing, you wouldn't apply for this grant. I know this sounds elementary, but a lot of times we just want to apply for something, but we don't apply in the right spot. So if you are a nonprofit, the Foundation for Veteran Housing Grants programs awards grants to nonprofit organizations for new construction or rehabilitation of permanent supportive housing for veterans. And the awards are typically between $100,000 and $500,000. So, guys, if your grant request is for $1 million, we would not go here. Okay. And if your grant request was for $50,000, we would not go here as well. Okay. So if you're a nonprofit, you're looking to go and do a grant, you have to know the funder. The third part is who can apply here. So I know this sounds very elementary, but this misses people sometimes. We have to know that they only accept 501c3 that have maintained a good standing with the IRS for at least 5 years. So you have to have been a nonprofit with your 501c3 status for at least 5 years to apply here. Your current operating budget needs to be $300,000, and you must have audited financial statements for the past 3 years. So, okay, if you're a startup nonprofit, this would not be for you unless you have a fiduciary that's had at least $300,000 on their operating budget and they have audited financials for the last 3 years. So, not to say that you wouldn't be able to get it, it's just you have to know what you need. You have to know how you're going to be able to do it. You can't do it yourself if you don't meet this criteria. In a nonprofit, you can use something called a fiduciary, and then you can, still apply, but you got to know that. Okay. And then organizations with previous experience building, developing veteran housing, and then an organization with 15-year ownership stake in the development, and organizations involved in continuum of care or local collaboration to end homelessness in their community. Now, that is for a grant funder. Let's look at a business lender. This is Detroit Development Fund in Detroit. There's many CDFIs in the United States, but if you were looking for some funding, this particular lender, you must be located in the city of Detroit. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Um, uh, you must have annual sales of at least $100,000, and you must have 50 or less employees. You have to been in business for at least 12 consecutive months. You have to have demonstrated growth potential, and been unable to obtain sufficient financing from traditional lenders. Guys, good morning. Why do they want you to been unable to obtain financing from any other source? It's because you would know your funder. This is a CDFI. They're a nonprofit, and so they actually want to help business owners that cannot obtain funding through a traditional source like a bank. That your credit might not be that great. So that's why you would go to some place like this. And your loans will have terms between 24 and 84 months. Now, I particularly work with this group. They're pretty lenient, but guess what? You have to have the documentation, period. There is no shortcut. Um, you know, there's no shortcut. Now, this is an investor, okay? And this investor does investments between 500,000 and $2 million. Can you get an investment for between 500 and $2 million? Lots of people do. Guess what they had? The criteria. Okay, so guys, they want you to have a business plan. Okay, let's go through. They want you to have experience on your team, a new product or platform. They want you to have solid intellectual property, a large unmet market opportunity, strong competitive advantage, initial proof of concept, customer validation, clear milestones, and custom commercialization plan, attractive deals and terms and valuation, and a compelling exit strategy. Okay, so if you were actually going through and going to get an investor for your thing, you would want to that um, have those criteria. So my point here is, why do QT customers get approved? Because we know the funder, okay? You got to know yourself, your business, or your program. If you're a nonprofit, the program has to be great. It can't be all over the place. We have to know what the impact, and they want to impact their the target that they want to give you the money for if you're a nonprofit. So remember, I was showing you I was showing you let's go back over here, the Home Depot one. Okay, they know their target. They want to help homeless veterans. Okay, that's who you have to be helping in your nonprofit. If you're a business, they know what they know who they want to help. So you got to know yourself, your business, and your program. Know why a funder would fund your specific program. It is not enough just to have a program or say something. Why are you special, and why would they want to fund you? We have to kind of outline that. Know what the lender funds needs to and then know what the lender needs or grant maker needs to have to get funded. So remember, I told you about the Home Depot. You're going to have a grant proposal, and you'll have to have all of the documentation. Everything that they require, you need to have. They specifically ask for audited financials for the last three years. So if you don't have audited financials for the last 3 years, we wouldn't go to this particular funder because they don't fund you unless you have that. And once you get to the funder, the investor, the grant maker, or the lender, you have to have all of the documentation. I know that sounds elementary, but a lot of times we get 90% of the stuff, and we're like, okay, we want to go, we want to go. You can't go. You can't go, not right now. You have to go when you have 100% of the documentation. And guys, that's why our people get approved. We're not going to go until we have all of those things. If we need QuickBooks, we'll put QuickBooks together and get that P&L and balance sheet together. If you don't have it, we got to put it together. And that's what makes us a little bit different. But that is the secret to getting your business funded. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have an ask today. I am looking for someone to, work at QT Business Solutions. I want someone that is passionate, that loves people, loves helping businesses, and has business background, specifically business funding background. All right. If you guys know of anyone that fits that criteria, please inbox me. I am looking for someone. Now it is a virtual, mostly virtual if they don't have to be in the office. So please give me an inbox and let me know who would be interested in that position. All right, guys. Thank you so much. What am I doing?